Texas chili is one of my favorite chilies ever to make, so we're gonna make that today. This is your boy Ron with over 20 years of restaurant experience, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to make the perfect chili. Now, the ingredients are probably a little long, but it's a very simple dish. Don't get intimidated by it. I guarantee you it'll be simple and easy. Just follow it step by step all the way to the end, all right? So let's get started. Now I know this ingredient may look a lot long, but the reality of it is it's pretty simple. Um, First thing we're actually going to do is just get all our ingredients separate and prepared. So I have a block of cheese, and what I like to do with a block of cheese is I'll shred up the whole block of cheese. I'm not going to use it all, but it's no need to opening it up and then trying to wrap it back in there and putting it in a plastic bag. Just put it in a little container, and you can put a seal to it, but you can add as much as you want. And what I like with my chili is a white cheddar and also a sharp cheddar. This is actually a good balance of cheese that you'll have in here. So it's a little thing I do, but I put it in two different containers. So I have this for later, and I can use this for whenever I want. We're going to cut up an onion. Now you can dice this up or mince this up. I prefer to mince it because I don't like big onion pieces in there, and I want it to kind of, sink into the meat once it starts sauteing. And another thing is, when you're making this chili recipe, the best thing you can do is actually make more than you need. And the reason why I say that is because you can freeze this chili. If you can get one of those vacuum seal bags, or inexpensive, you can go on Amazon or Tumi, and they have the hand little vacuum seal bags. They're like $20 or so. Not the big ones, but the new school ones where you just have the bag and a little bit of a hole on the end of it, and you kind of vacuum seal it. It's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually mince up this garlic a little bit, get it nice little quick cuts on this. And like I said, we're just getting the ingredients ready. So since we get the ingredients ready, we don't have to worry about looking for anything. Everything's right in front of us, okay? So I want this right nice and minced up. I don't want big chunks of garlic, even though this is going to be cooking for a little bit. I don't want big chunks of garlic in my chili. Now, the reason why I make so much chili is because one, I love chili, but two, you can have chili cheese, hot dogs, you can actually have burgers, Frito pies. They're great little things that you can have around the house just to kind of, if you want a snack, but you don't want to fix any food, you can make it as a snack. So the ratio that we're working here is actually 3 pounds of ground beef. And the first thing we're going to do with the ground beef is we're going to turn this on like a medium high, and we're just trying to get a color on the bottom of it. So I'm chopped it up and I got a color on it. And now once I've done that, I'm going to put my onions in, and I'm going to sweat my onions in these until they kind of break down a little bit, and then I'll add my garlic. So when you're doing this, when you're browning your meat, you want to make sure it takes before you start chopping it up, give it about a minute or two, or at least 3 or 4 minutes before you start chopping it up, and let that little browning happening. It's perfectly fine. It's going to add way more flavor. So now I added some garlic, and now this is the first time I'm actually adding any kind of seasoning, which is salt. I'm going to add some salt in here, and I'm using the salt for a couple reasons. One, to flavor the meat, but the other one is it actually is going to draw out some of the water out of the onions and also the garlic. So I'm going to let that sit for a second, probably about 4 or 5 minutes, not too long. All right, so now I'm looking at the bottom of it. Everything looks good. And I'm going to put my fire roasted tomatoes. I'm also going to use some tomato paste, and I'm going to use a can of tomato sauce. And we also have our kidney beans right here. I use the dark kidney beans, and like I said, the ratio is 3-to-1. 3 pounds of ground beef, 1 pound of kidney beans. So here we go. We're adding in the tomato paste, and we're going to add in the tomato sauce. Once we brown this tomato sauce a little bit, we're going to stir it up a little bit and brown it out. We're going to add our tomato sauce in. Once we do all that, we're going to add in some chicken stock. Not chicken stock, but we're going to add some beef stock. We can add chicken stock, but beef stock if you have it. So we're going to add this beef stock. Now, I make my beef stock at least once a week, or I'll make a huge thing of vegetable stock, and then I'll get like a beef bouillon and add it into it. So it has all the bell peppers and the onions already in the stock itself. So we're going to put some bay leaves in here. And we're also going to start seasoning everything. Now, once we start seasoning it, we have our chili powder. Now the ingredients is going to be in the description, but you're going to do more chili powder and more cumin than you do in every other ingredient. So you're probably looking at about 2 to 3, 4 tablespoons of chili powder and 4 tablespoons of cumin. And you're looking at 1 tablespoon of everything else. Now you can adjust the seasonings to your liking. This is also onion powder, but we also have some ancho chili powder that we're going to use in here, and some fresh cracked pepper. Now, when I tell you that this went quick, we had this chili probably for less than a day and a half, and it was so good. Now we're going to add a little bit of Worcestershire. And here is my secret, is chipotle. So I actually get the little can of chipotle where it has the chipotle peppers in there and an adobe seasoning and adobe sauce, and go ahead and add that in there. And that's going to give it a really, really wonderful smokiness flavor to it. This chili is the best I've ever had. So, if you've had better, let me know. Please make the recipe and let me know what you think about it. And if you had better, let me know so we can test the recipe out here. Now, I use normally oregano, but I didn't have any right on deck. So you can use Italian seasoning. It has oregano, but it also has other stuff in there, which is not bad, like rosemary and stuff like that. But if you do have oregano, just use oregano, preferably. Look at that sauce. The sauce looks so good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit for about a good 30-40 minutes and let it simmer up. While they're simmering up, I have some tortilla chips. Now I know some people say tortilla chips and chili. Yes, this is actually where I get my crunch from. I love to have like something crunchy on top of the tortillas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tortilla, I'm going to chop them up into strips, and then I'm just going to deep fry them. Now, the only thing when you're deep frying them, these are going to take a little longer than you may think they would, probably like about 45 seconds to a minute. But all you're trying to do is you're really just trying to get the color of the tortilla chips. Getting all the water evaporated out. Once that color comes in, it's going to be a little crispy. That's when you pull it out. So this is going to take about a minute or so. Our chili looks perfect. Let's go ahead and give it a stir. Look at that. Nice, thick, flavorful. And I will test it right here. I'll taste it and make sure that all the flavors are where I want it to be. If it's lacking any flavor, any salt or anything like that, you should add it in right now before you finish it off. All right, so these tortilla chips, look, this is actually beautiful. Okay, now it's getting the look on there. It has a little bit of the color that I'm looking for. And I'm gonna pull them out in just a second. Give it about another 20 seconds. Now see how it's easily forming a crunch? These are perfect. So we're gonna dap it off. And now you have a paper towel. You can put a paper towel at the bottom of this bowl, but I didn't have any paper towels. I'm out. So it is what it is. It happens. Now we're going to serve and plate it. So the way I like to serve it and plate it, I like to get 2 big, huge scoops. I'm going to get a little bit of that cheddar cheese over there on the side. And I'm also going to get some of that white cheddar. The white cheddar and the cheddar have a great sharpness to the chili, but it's not overpowering. So this is perfect. Now you can just add onions and chives and a dab of sour cream. But what I like to do is add my tortilla chips on here. And I like to use cilantro on top of it. I know what you're saying. Cilantro, yes. Cilantro, chives, they have that extra little bite to it, but the cilantro, this is perfect. This is why I call it a Texas chili, because, you know, we're right next to Mexico, and if you've ever been to Texas, it's more Tex-Mex than just Texas. So this Texas chili is amazing. Like I said, it went really, really fast, and don't let me down. Let me know what you think about it. Try it out, and please don't forget to write a comment and let me know, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you again.